Hadi.
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 It means hello.
Hadi.
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 It means hello.
Hadi and welcome.
Hello, and welcome to our traditional territory.
Hadi.
Hadi.
Welcome to our ancestral lands.
Hadi.
We have been here for thousands of years.
We have welcomed visitors for thousands of years.
Hadi.
Hello, and we welcome you.
To my territory.
We respectfully acknowledge
That we live, work, and play
on the unceded ancestral lands
of the Lheidli T'enneh First Nation.
We respect the history, culture, traditions,
and language
of the Lheidli T'enneh First Nation.
We will learn from our host First Nation.
We welcome other First Nations.
who call our territory home.
Hadi.
We welcome other First Nations.
Inuit and Métis people
Who call our territory home.
We welcome people from around the world
who call Prince George home.
Hadi.
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 Hello and welcome to our traditional territory.
Hadi.
Hadi. And welcome to the lands of the Lheidli T'enneh First Nations.
Hadi. Everybody's still sleeping. Hadi. One more time. Hadi. Oh, it's amazing to hear that beautiful language. That's one of the things that survived. Zen Hunzu, it's a beautiful day. And Jan, Lheidli Keok, said, see, so we're sitting here on Lheidli territory, and no keo, Lheidli keo, tse ani, nedani. So welcoming you all here to our Truth and Reconciliation Day. Again, I'm gonna step away from the mic for a few minutes to help the drummers, but we're really excited to have you all here today. And if you are a survivor, if you didn't catch the announcement, please join us at the back, and then we'll have our drummers bring them onto the stage and honor them. So please take a moment to find your way to the back if you're a survivor. We would be greatly appreciated to, celebrate your strength and resilience.
Thank you. Awesome. And so let's hear it for the survivors. Woo! Before you exit the stage, please come stage right, and we do have a token of gratitude and gratitude and medicine for you all. And at this moment, we'll let the Castan drummers lead in a song.
All right. So it's my honor to drum with an amazing drum family that are all intergenerational survivors of residential schools and super strong, amazing people that have been trained by our ancestors before us. And the song we're going to share to start us off is Morris Qua's Lament. It is a song that is about Morris Qua, who used to be a Lheidli chief at one point. He's now an Adadane. He's an ancestor of ours in our community. And it's about his wife who decided to go back home to her community because she really missed her family. And so luckily she was able to go back. And so in this song, it travels through the highways of the river and to the different communities. So we want to honor all of those communities and all the people over the years who have kept the culture alive, who have endured through hardships and overcome, and for those who we've lost over the many years due to the impacts of residential schools, and really thinking about everybody carrying on that legacy of strength and hope and the language and the culture with it, and these amazing, beautiful people behind us, and those who are out there in the crowd who are survivors, and those who are intergenerational survivors. Mors quas lament. If you know it, sing it. And if you want to dance, feel free to dance. Must see so much amazing feelings coming from that, seeing people out there singing and hearing our knowledge holders and elders behind us singing, survivors, and really grateful for our two youth up front who are hosting and holding the flag for truth and reconciliation for us. I also want to recognize a couple of things. The word goodbye is a word that came post contact. There's no way to say goodbye for us. We say, you'll see you again. And so that song is kind of dated with that language integrated into it. You would have noticed our chief of council and band members coming up during the part where we sang Lheidli, and they provided us with $80. And so that's a common practice. You would notice in some songs that people will, from their nation, come and provide an offering to the drummers for their work. All right, let's have a round of applause for all of our survivors and these youth that are carrying on the future. You want to introduce the next thing?
Thanks so much, Jen. So before we move forward with a prayer from a Lheidli elder, I'd also just like to point out that there are cultural supports to anybody who needs it in the tent here. So there is some smudging, and we also have the Indian Residential School Survivor Society on hand for emotional and well-being support to anyone who needs that today as well. So please do what you need. It's a pretty open and casual event, and so just come as you are, and there are supports if you do need them. As well, we are going to be later in the program sharing some messages from those in attendance with a plank exercise that we also have in the tent closest to me. So you'll notice that there are some signs along the walls in the tent with a few prompts. Feel free to answer them. We do have some answers and some people who've already added to them, but your message might be shared with the group later. So allow your voice to be heard today as well. And with that, I would like to welcome Elder, CNC Cultural Advisor, and the Chancellor of the University of Northern British Columbia, Darlene McIntosh, to the stage.
Thank you. Hadi. Well, you should come up and stand and look at the crowd and see all the orange and all the support, all of the allies that we have. It's absolutely wonderful. It really fills our heart that we have so many people that come out on a day like this, which is a little bit cold, and but you have to see the children running around and they're in their t-shirts. Like, I can't believe it. I'm cold. But in saying that, we want to honor Creator to be with us today, surrounding us with our ancestors, no matter where you're from, 7 generations back. And we want to honor our survivors, those that went through residential school. I know my mother was, and all of her siblings, and stories that she would tell were pretty heartbreaking and was really hard to listen to. So in saying that, we'll get you all to stand, please. So I want you to take a nice deep cleansing breath throughout your whole body. Nice deep cleansing breath. As we breathe into our body, we connect with a deeper level of ourselves. We light that flame within us and we shine it, because you are an all and more than you can even imagine. For our elders and all of our residential school survivors that have survived, you are resilient and strong, and you lead the way for the next generations to come. And so things change, that they don't stay the same, that we are enduring group of people, very strong. So just think about it. Beautiful Mother Earth on Lheidli T'enneh territory. This park, Lheidli T'enneh Memorial Park, which has been here like 150 years. Our village was here. And look at the beauty that it's turned into. Look at the beautiful trees. So we connect with Mother Earth at the deeper level. So when we breathe into our body, we pull that breath all the way down into our feet. And we feel our feet sink into the deep, rich soil of Mother Earth. We can smell the richness. We can feel it between our toes. And there she grounds us into today, into this very moment, what's taking place. So we know that we're surrounded by our environment that supports us, gives us everything we need. And we sometimes don't think about that. And we need to connect with our environment because it brings peace to our soul, peace to what had taken place and what's happening now. So as we bow our heads and focus on whatever our belief system is, to bring in the ancestors, to bring in Creator, to support us where we need the most support. So we call on the Creator, the grandfathers and the grandmothers, and all of our ancestors, no matter where they're from, to come be with us today. Thank you for this beautiful day, this beautiful autumn day, creating a sacred space for what will be taking place as we acknowledge National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, as we honor and uplift survivors of the residential schools, day schools, and the 60 Scoop. This is an important day as we realign ourselves to a brighter future. We come together as a community as a way to strengthen and impart good medicine. Let us understand what truth and reconciliation means. Let us heal as we see all the orange shirts commemorating the loss of our children in residential schools, the loss of our culture, language, our lands. And let the tears flow, letting go of the hurt and injustice done to our First Nations people. Creator, hear our prayers. We thank you for all the participation, and we thank you for all the knowledge and wisdom that will be shared as the winds change, bringing a different weather. They also bring a change that is what's needed to move forward as a community at large to look at truth and reconciliation and the 94 calls to action. Justice Minister Maurice Sinclair said, "We must strive for justice, not just in theory, but in practice. Reconciliation requires us to confront our own biases and prejudice. We must recognize and celebrate the contributions of Indigenous people in our country." Creator, hear our prayers. Let us take the stand to see where we can best support our people, because it takes a community as we gather together to apply the best practices to support and implement a strategic plan of action. When one heals, we all heal. Creator, hear our prayers. It is our sacred obligation, giving Indigenous voices on reconciliation of our peoples, as we speak our truth, which addresses our inner being, speaking our truth through Indigenous culture, drumming, connecting with the beat of our mother's heart, singing and dancing, connecting to the spirit of the land. We thank Creator for guiding us on the good red road of instituting plans that will work on making us whole in all aspects of who we are. As the sun is high in the sky, warming us in the coolness of the northern energy, it touches our spirit, asking us to come into the wisdom of our hearts. We thank Mother Earth for allowing us to walk softly on her, leaving no footprints. May all those present go home knowing what you will receive today will benefit all. Creator, we ask that you keep our people safe today, and may tomorrow be a good day. All my relations, Snachelia, thank you. Please be seated.
Awesome, thank you, and Snachelia, Elder Darlene. At this point, we'd like to welcome Lheidli T'enneh Chief Darlene Logan and any members of council in attendance to join us on the stage.
Hadi. I'd like to thank our two elders, Helen Bouzas and Darlene McIntosh, and our cast and drummers for getting us started in a good way today. And to all the survivors and the families of the survivors who are here today with us, Your spirit and your resilience are strong reminders to us. Not only are you survivors, but you're our warriors. I've seen a lot of our members come across the stage when the survivors came up, and actual true warriors. I do have to do a special acknowledgement to previous Chief Dominic Frederick. You've led our community in an amazing way. You never let residential schools stop you. You're a true warrior. Thank you. And of course, I gotta recognize Joshua Seymour, our counselor. Get up here. And to the community who shown up here today, it's cold, but I know your hearts are so warm for you to be here today. To not only to learn, but be part of our healing process. We talk about truth and reconciliation and all the calls to action, but it didn't come with a handbook. We don't know how it works. We're all working through this together, and together we can do the reconciliation. While today is a day of reflection on residential school systems, I also have to note our nation is in grieving right now. We have lost 2 amazing members within 5 days of each other. Josie Paul and Edith Frederick. 2 amazing, strong women. This is why I need Josh up. I want to thank everyone for the outpouring support that they have shown for what our nation is going through right now. Edith Frederick was an amazing lady. You probably all know her. She was out and about the community all the time. Okay. Today is both a somber day as we reflect on those who did not return home from residential school. When we had that 5 minutes of silence, and I heard the kids playing and talking, I had one little guy over there turn around, peek around his mom's shoulder and smiled at me. And I think of all the ones that didn't make it home. It's because of them that we're here today. And it's them that gave us the strength. They gave us their voices so we could stand here, be proud of who we are, where we come from, and to show the world we're resilient. Okay. Being here is the first positive step. Listening to survivor stories. That's important, is listening to their stories. Because this was a taboo subject. No one was allowed to talk about it. No one did talk about it. Because they were ashamed. I know my mom never talked about it. Just a little bit. I remember when my Uncle Clifford had to do a deposition. I've never seen my Uncle Clifford like that before. But I told him, I said, you know what? You got it out. It's no longer a secret that you have to carry. And people are listening now. Yeah. Again, I want to thank you all for coming. I can't finish this, but I know I have Joshua here. Amazing speaker. But before I end, I want to thank Jen Rubido, Kim Gucci, Jennifer Piggin, who are always here for us, who are here, who organizes tirelessly, and Jared for being the MC today. And Jennifer, thank you. Joshua.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joshua Seymour, and I'm a counselor for Lheidli T'enneh. First, I want to thank the survivors of the residential school, the ones who are all up here. I want to thank each and every one of you. You're the reason why we are here today. You're the reason why we understand our culture and we're learning our language. And remembering that today is a day of remembering the children who never made it home from the residential schools, but it's also a day to honor those who did. For all the residential school survivors who came up here, you are the reason why we are here today. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you and to honor you by learning more of our culture and our language and make sure it survives for my son's generation, and understanding that my mother is the first generation who didn't have to go to residential school, and my grandfather did attend residential school. And now we're seeing a change as my mother's generation steps up to become those elders. And we're going to rely a lot on that generation to learn from the generation before to be able to pass on those culture and knowledge and the stories to my children and to myself. And to our allies who are here today, the ones that came out in support of the Truth and Reconciliation Day, I want to thank you as well. Your heart is in the right place, and I want to encourage you that whenever you see an Indigenous word, whether it's Deckhealth or wherever you are, to try to learn that word and try to say it and try to use it. As well as the rest of the Indigenous people here today, understand that you must learn your nation's language. That is your connection to your ancestors. That is your connection to your ceremony. Spend time with your elders. Go sit with them. Go tell them. Go ask them to tell them your story. Ask them how it was when they were younger. Ask them how it was when they're adults. Let them teach you. And the best way to learn is just by listening. Just take the time, sit down, listen. For all the residential school survivors, I want to thank you. To all the ones that didn't survive the residential school, I want them to know that we're going to remember them and we're going to honor them by being Indigenous people. Because we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here. We're here at the beginning of the time, and we're going to be here at the end of time. Thank you all.
Told you he was good. Thank you, everyone.
All right, there we go. So our next speaker is a survivor story with one of our other elders, Patricia Seymour. She is an amazing elder within our community, has led a lot of our youth into the drum group, bringing back the language and culture through that. She's come a long way with public speaking. I was talking to her earlier. 10 years ago, she had a hard time saying her name, and now she's here to speak to all of you. And it's really wonderful to look out and see all of your wonderful orange shirts and the support that you're providing for each other, remembering we're all family here. And, if you need any help at any point in time, we do have a volunteer booth where you can get some support as well. There's lots of us here. Find somebody, don't hold in, let that emotion go, because we need to let it go behind us. Just like the leaves fall off the tree, it's time to rejuvenate and let go. So allow yourself that time and remember that we're all here to support. Do you want the handheld or do you want the mic? Oh, yes.
Good afternoon. My name's Patricia Seymour.
Lheidli member, Elder Castan drummer, and the proud mother of Joshua Seymour. My dad, Alan Seymour, attended LaJoc Residential School at a young age. He lived most of his life there. I had everything in my head what I was going to say. So I'm trying to wing it. My childhood wasn't as traumatizing as others. Others had it worse than me. My parents split up at a young age. I grew up around alcohol. And the most thing that really made an impact on me was not getting hugs, not being told I love you every day, because that is what my dad went through. He had nobody. He had brothers and sisters in residential school, but he never got to see them. He didn't get to see his parents but once a year. He never got the affection of a hug or the words, I love you. I grew up without that. Today, every chance I get, I hug. It's like you indulge in something that was missing in your life. And hugs are mine. My hugs are full of love. My hugs mean something. My hugs, when they're around somebody, they mean something. I've been told my hugs are very warming, and that's because it's full of love, because I didn't get the hugs growing up. And there was the odd times I would hear my dad say, I love you, which wasn't often. He would be intoxicated mostly. I knew he loved me. I really did, because he did everything for us. We had a good home. He worked hard. We had meals every day. But to me, the meaning wasn't true. The words didn't hit me like it should have when he said, I love you. Today, every day, I tell my kids, my grandkids, my cousins, my aunts and uncles, that I love them. And to this day, my kids do that to their kids. So that's one thing that I put a stop to, of not hearing the 3 words, I love you. Because my family says it to each other every day. And like I said, there were other intergenerational survivors that had it worse than I did. Physical, whatever it. And I'm sorry, I drew a blank. But thank you, survivors that are here. And I will be here every day that we have truth and reconciliation, but it can't be just the one day. It has to be every day. So it has to be celebrated every day. And like Chief Logan said, we've lost 2 of our language keepers. And they did teach. One lady here beside me that knows more than anybody I know in the language. So let's hope that she continues and teaches the language to the members, the youth, the children. Otherwise, it'll be lost. and our elders, yes. So just last thing I've got to say is hug your kids every day. Tell them you love them every day. Thank you.
Nana Chalio, Pat. We're really honored to have you up here today, and we have a special ceremony. We'd like to invite our elder Luella Nome and a Clately youth, Abby Anderson, to come and blanket you with an orange blanket for today's Truth and Reconciliation. Thank you for helping our community stay strong and the support you provide everyone. The blanket was created by Anita Alpe and donated to honor Pat. Now she can stay nice and warm today. And being blanketed is a really wonderful experience. You get the love that was put into that blanket, the honor, and the respect that goes with that. So thank you, Pat. Gussie. All right. So our next testimony will, our next story, intergenerational story, and a song is going to be shared with us by Joel West, Lake Babby Nation. He's here to share some words and hopefully uplift us, because as we mentioned, it is, you know, in memory and honor of those who've passed and those who struggle, but also to help us move forward and have some new growth and celebrate their survival, our strength, our resiliency, our language, our culture, and us moving forward together as a unified community nationwide. Joel West.
How's it going, everybody? It's good to be here. It's got a lot of warriors here, you know, weathering out all the rain and everything like that. The last time I played here, I just want to thank Chief Darlene and Kim and everybody and all the organizers getting me here. It was awesome. The last time I played here, my late dad was with me. I had a band from NASCO, and my dad showed up, and that was the last time we got to play for everybody here, you know, in Prince. It was 2 years ago. Dad was a residential school survivor, and there was a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, you know, a lot of things that got washed down onto us siblings and everything, you know. A lot of the like hurtful words and everything, and you know, so just, you know, everything that comes with it, you know. I didn't know what I was going to say today, but I just wanted to share with you that, you know, my dad was and my mom was in day school and everything like that. But for my dad, he went to LeJac, and my uncles here too. They all went to LeJac. My dad and all his family, they were survivors. And there's stories that even on the road, I remember talking with my dad a lot of times while we were on the road. He was able to let me know about a lot of things that he went through, a lot of things that he's endured, you know, and it helped me understand my dad a whole lot. And I was happy to, you know, at the start I was really upset I was talking with my dad, and I'd get mad a lot because how he treated me and how things were when he talked to me when I was younger. That you know, it was a lot of name calling and all this stuff where I did my best, and it just felt like I wasn't good enough. You know, as hard as I played in any sport or in school, I just did, like, I couldn't beat Dad. I could never beat him. I could never be able to satisfy him wherever I went, with anything that I did in my life. You know, but there was a movie that I'm sure that people heard of, a movie that was called Indian Horse, that came out, and I remember talking with my dad about a whole lot of things. And he said it was similar. It was similar to the way it was growing up and stuff. So I asked him some more, went into a little more depth about some hard questions I wanted to ask. And it's like, Dad, when you tried your hardest and, you know, and you pushed people around and you got pushed around and pushed down and everything, and you came back to the bench, and did they say you were weak like a girl? He's like, every time. He's like, so Dad, when you went up and you scored a goal and everything, even though how hard you worked at it and you did everything you could to push as hard as you could to score one goal, and you come back to the bench, what did they tell you? Did they ever tell you that they could score more goals than that, like 1 million goals, and then they're way better than you? He's like, every time. And I looked at him and was like, Dad, that's what you used to do to me. And he just put his head down. I remember my dad put his head down, and I remember seeing his whole face start shaking, you know. It's so hard to see a man like my own superhero growing up. His dad was a trucker, and this is his jacket, you know. I wanted to use whatever trucker things that I could, you know, just always keep my dad. This was his guitar I bought off of my dad when he was struggling and stuff. But, you know, Dad finally looked at me after we were having these more, like, there was deeper conversation that happened and everything. But I remember sitting there and I was talking with Dad, and he finally looked out the window for a long time, and he could see tears starting to come down. His eyes were watering up, and he finally looked down and looked over a little bit, and was like, I'm sorry, son. That's what he said. And, you know, even driving, I could barely see the road because it was so blurry because my eyes were watering up. It's like, man, you don't know how long I was waiting for those words, Dad. You don't know how long I was waiting for those to hear that, you know. And it meant a lot to me. And near my dad's, before he passed away, I got to meet my dad, and we made amends with each other. And we were able to wash away and just take away all of the rubble in our life, all the things that went wrong, all the bad stuff. And we're able to build up something new, something fresh. You know, we built a relationship that was so good. That was, you know, I look back on things, and I really thank one of my sponsor. There was Carl Casimir, was my sponsor, and helped me understand a whole lot of things as he went through a lot of loss too. And I took his words the best I could, and, you know, shared the best way I could. And I really thanked him for that, you know, and it was meant a lot to me. And, you know, we're all here today. That's the thing that, you know, they couldn't take us away. They couldn't even rip the warrior out of us, you know what I mean? They couldn't even beat out of us, and we're able to be here, you know? We're looking back at our ancestors, the ones that had to put up with so much awful things that we didn't know, like unimaginable, unspeakable things that you couldn't even talk about, you know? But we're here today, and I'm proud of you for being here today. You should be proud of yourselves for being here today. And we all appreciate all the support we can get all the way around the world, anywhere that we can. You know, to be able to live as one, to be able to come together and forgive a lot of things. Maybe we won't forget them, but, you know, forgiveness got to start somewhere, you know. And it really looks, just to look out in the crowd to see everybody, all different races, all different ages, all here in, you know, to be able to help with the same thing, and that's to be there for each other, you know, and show the support and love, man, like really love, like the genuine love, that things that were forgotten about maybe, you know, but to be able to come together like this is something that I love to see, even though when it's raining, you know, people kind of don't really like the rain, but you're out here and you're here and you're doing as well as you are, you know. I'm proud of you guys. You guys keep it up. So I'm going to try to play I've been, January 6th this year has been 11 years clean and sober, cold turkey. Just telling you that it's possible, man. It doesn't matter where you come from, that it's possible. All right, I'm going to play a couple songs here, and you can, yeah, hopefully guys enjoy it. I cried myself to sleep each night, wishing I can hold you tight. Life seems so empty since you went away. The pillow where you laid your head now holds my empty dreams instead, and it keeps right on hurting since you've gone. And it keeps right on hurting every minute of the day, every hour you're away. I feel so lonely, I don't think I can't help it. I don't think I can't go on. And it keeps right on hurting since you've gone. They said a man ain't supposed to cry, but when I see you passing by, my heart breaks down and cries a million tears. You broke my heart when you set me free, but you forgot your memory, and it keeps right on hurting since you've gone. And it keeps right on hurting every minute of the day, every hour you're away. I feel so lonely, I don't think I can't help it. I don't think I can't go on. And it keeps right on hurting since you've gone. And it keeps right on hurting since you've gone. One more? Is that good? 2 more minutes? Okay. Okay, I think I might have time for one more. I am at ease in the arms of a woman. All those nights, most of my days spent alone. 1,000 miles, place I was born. When she wakes me, she takes me back home. Now most days I'll spend like a child who's afraid of ghosts in the night. I know there's nothing out there, but I'm still afraid to turn on the lights. I am at ease in the arms of a woman. All those nights, most of my days spent alone. A 1,000 miles, place I was born. When she wakes me, she takes me. When she wakes me, she takes me. When she wakes me, she takes me back home. When she wakes me, she takes me back home. on. I love you all, you guys. Take care. Get home safe. Prayers to you all. I don't know if you ever heard it lately, but yeah, I love you. Take care. God bless you.
All right. Let's hear it again for Joel West. Joel West. And I know we could probably get stories from almost each and every one of you down there. So thanks again, Joel West. We're grateful for lifting us up and sharing the stories. Just a reminder, those t-shirts are available over at the volunteer by donation. We recommended $20. There's also the activity over there. You can write on a Post-it, and if you haven't written on one, or if you want to, or if you just want to listen and hear the voices of our survivors and those impacted by residential schools, do check that out. You can step out of the rain for a moment and dry off for a second, and learn a little, share a little. It would be greatly appreciated.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jen. So we're just about halfway through our programs. We're just going into the second hour for today's National Truth and Reconciliation Day. So we're going to now invite another survivor from Lheidli T'enneh, elder and community member from Grouse Clan, Clifford Qua.
Can you hear me? I only got a short time, so I might as well dive into it. I am Clifford Qua, member of Lheidli T'enneh, also a survivor from the Jack Residential School, and my number was number 26. I and others would like to thank the organizers, Jennifer Robideau, Kim Gucci, also the sponsors, who donated so that this Truth and Reconciliation Day would be a success, as always. Today we also remember the survivors of the schools, past and present, who attended the residential schools that began from 1891 to 1996. These schools were doomed to be a failure and left a lasting legacy that is still being felt today. We as survivors inadvertently passed on what we learned to the next generation. And to the many now known as intergenerational people, as Mr. Sinclair said, education got us into this mess that the government started, and education will get us out of this. We as survivors are doing our best to break this vicious circle instigated by the federal government. As survivors, there are not many left, very few of us. Also, we grew up as hollow shells and turned to alcohol to numb the pain that we suffered. And we all have, most of us survivors have criminal records. And I and a few other survivors have spent time in jail or correctional centers. And what we learned is, I learned that correctional centers treated survivors like humans, even though we got a number. And with Jack's school didn't have no bars, invisible bars, so we traded that for a real jail. The government residential school system created a almost sexually, social and intellectual desert in which nothing will grow. Also, the apologies by Prime Minister Harper, 2008, and the Pope meant very little to me and others who fully understood what as survivors, what we went through. And why? What good is an apology if you don't understand what the residential schools and others did to us? Reconciliation, or to make better, the relationship between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people, the people must come to terms on Canada's dark history so that they no longer act like nothing happened. Also, we, the First Nations of Canada, needs the acceptance and more action from the TRC. Today, the Truth and Reconciliation, we remember all survivors, past and present. Also, the many unmarked graves of the boys and girls who never made it home or had a proper burial in their communities where they were come from. Where these children were forced to attend these schools. And the mandate of the federal government and the Roman Catholic Church and other clergies, these people wanted to assimilate and educate these heathen savages, dirty Indians. Reconciliation, TRC, Truth and Reconciliation Day, to recommit ourselves to a different future. That is, educating the generations, the new generations of young people as future leaders to break the barriers that has kept our people apart. And the truth and reconciliation will take years, maybe another generation. So all of the First Nations can unite as First Nation people so that they can move forward to take the first step to healing and reconciliation. That is to start with yourself, truth about yourself, and move on to reconciling with yourself to make better your relationship, my relationship with other people, so that I can become a better person. And in closing, we, the survivors and intergenerational people, thank the people here who came to listen to our stories about the residential schools. And I thank you all for attending this TRC Day to take the first step forward to healing and reconciling with each other. Snachaya. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you, Clifford. If you'd like to hear more of Clifford's stories, words, experience, he's on YouTube. He's a YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
He's on YouTube. Yes, my number's Clifford. My name is Clifford. My number's 29, 28, 26. So you'll see that documentary featured online. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So we just want to acknowledge the contribution by Crystal Ben and her kids. They created medicine bundles. So just want to thank them for taking the time and energy to put that positive energy and medicine into our hands.
So I just wanted to share some feedback from the interactive activity that we have going on. So thanks to everybody who has participated. So there were a few prompts in there. We just took a couple to share, but the first one is, we should recognize the past because. And the answers that we received from attendees and community members was the first one, which is, there is no future without acknowledging the past. Without our past, we can't be what our ancestors prayed for. We need to learn from it and to teach your grandkids how they are survivors. So thanks everybody who took part in that activity. I did want to share another. So there was another prompt that said, as a survivor, I want people to know. And these are what the survivors had to say. That there is many people's needs, support every way, to know the healing is for everyone. And I'm sorry if I didn't read that one correctly, but I think I understand what this person and what the survivor is meaning to say. All survivors to take the first step of healing. And finally, there's a prayer. Creator, I pray for spiritual, cultural awakening. I pray for healing of all Native families struggling. Pray for love, joy, and peace. So thank you so much. Back over to you, Jen.
Thank you to all the survivors who have shared their knowledge and wisdom with us, and the support for each other. We have a special activity that we're going to bring out. We've got a large flag that was donated and contributed by Patricia Prince, brought it from REPA Flags, Niagara Falls, Ontario. So we're going to bring the flag out and lay it out on the lawn here. It is, I heard, the size of a tennis court. I don't know how big a tennis court is. At the same time, we're going to hear from Madeline McCallum, a very influential, powerful Indigenous musician, dancer, and of course, storyteller.
So without further ado, please provide a warm welcome to Madeline McCallum.
All right, thank you so much. You're all getting cold out there. I'm really grateful for you staying here today to hear our stories. I'm going to introduce myself. Tansenawah kumaganak, madlenenes nekasun, sakaskis kwentete kawin, sakatawakutse niya. I just said hello, my friends and family. My name is Madeline. My traditional name is Strong Earth Woman. And I'm originally from northern Saskatchewan in a Métis and Cree community called Isla Lacrosse. And I also come from Kinole Cree First Nation. I'm really, really, really grateful to be welcomed here to Lheidli T'enneh territory. I have been asked to come here about 10 times this year to do the work that I'm doing. Our elder, who was telling his story just now, was saying that what they experienced, God passed on to their children and then to the children after that. And I am one of those children that it got passed on to. I am what people are calling an intergenerational survivor. But you know what? I'm also a thriver. I want to remind you that we are thrivers as well. Yes, we're all sitting here because we're here and we're ready. We're ready to say we know what happened to our parents. We know what happened to our grandparents. And the elder said it just now. You have to start to do the work with you. And for me, that was really understanding my parents' truth and my Cookham and Musham's truth. I had to listen and I had to hear their stories. And I had to ask my dad, what happened to you? I want to know why you didn't raise me. I want to know why you didn't know how to raise me. I don't want to blame you anymore. I don't want to blame you and say, it's your fault I turned out the way I am. It's your fault that I am the way I am. I want to say, I'm grateful to you. You brought me into this earth. You brought me onto this planet. I am a part of you. I am your DNA. I am my mom and dad's DNA. And you know what that means? That they're strong people because I am strong. Because I am strong. And for me, I have a shirt on that says, as you are is enough. My mom and dad didn't feel like they were enough their entire lives. My dad went to day school. My mom's mom went to residential school. And they didn't feel like they were good enough. So you know what I said? I made a promise to myself that I was going to feel good enough in this life so that I could tell them that they're good enough. Because when I started to show that to myself, I was showing that to them, that it's possible for them to love themselves, even though they went through day school and residential school, that they're still enough, that they've always been enough. And that's my message today, is to say, I went through, it got passed on to me. I was on the streets as a teenager. I was exploited as a teenager. I was in the foster care system. I was in a severely abusive relationship in my life. I went through cancer, and now there's something happening with me that they call lupus or an autoimmune. And that all comes from what happened to my mom and dad and my grandparents. But you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going for my mom, who is in what we still call addiction. I'm going to keep going for her so that I can show her, Mom, I come from you. And look at what I'm doing, Mom. It's possible for you. And for my dad is 78 and he's never felt joy in his life. So you know what I'm going to become? I'm going to become joy so that my dad can see that joy is possible for him. So that is what I'm doing to heal what we call intergenerational trauma. That's what I'm doing. I'm starting with me. And that's all I can do right now is start with me so that I can share it with my mom and I can share it with my dad and I can let them know that I am a part of you and I have always been enough, even though you couldn't raise me. Even though you didn't know how to raise me and that system taught you not to take care of me, I've still been enough. And it's because you are my mom and you are my dad. And I want you to know you are deserving. Every single one of you out here today are survivors, are thrivers. I want you to know today that you are deserving of the greatest love. And the greatest love is your own. Every single day, I hope you are looking in that mirror and you are saying, you made it. And I'm proud of you. This is how I'm going to start healing through intergenerational trauma is what they call it. But in my language, miwasin, it's good. Tawaham, we're hitting the mark. Our people know what to do. We're doing it every single day. We're loving each other. We're learning how to say, I love you. We're learning how to say you're beautiful to each other without it feeling weird and wrong. We're learning how to say, I'm so proud of you. You know how many gatherings I've been to and there's 80-year-old elders who never heard, I'm proud of you. I'm so happy you're alive. I'm so grateful you made it. We're learning how to do that today. And all I'm here to do standing here is because my mom and dad couldn't stand here. My Kukum and Mushum passed before they could stand on stages like this. So I know that I'm just here standing for them. And I'm also standing for me. And for all of you, I'm standing here saying, I am proud of you and I love you. I love you so much, and I'm grateful you made it here. I'm really, really grateful, and I'm honored. We have something. Can I go in front of the speakers with this? Can I go in front with this? I'm going anyway. I'm Cree. We just act like we ask permission. We have something in protocol. We pass tobacco. So today I'm going to pass tobacco to these two lovely ones who are sitting here. And I'm going to thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for you. I'm here because of you. And this is what I'm reminding everybody. Our elders, you're sitting here. You did that for us. You did that for us. And the only reason I'm able to stand on this stage is because of her. It's because of all of you, our elders. Thank you. I'm here because of you, and I thank you. And that you should know that you are powerful beyond measure. You are powerful beyond measure, and you are deserving to be celebrated. I'm so grateful for you. I'm proud of you. I honor you, and I promise you, I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to keep doing this work of healing myself and my family for you. Because if I don't, what am I saying to you? I'm saying, no, it's not good enough, but I'm telling you it's good enough. Everything you've done in this life is good enough. And it shows because I'm standing here. And that's a promise to all of you, to what we call our residential school survivors. My promise to you today is that I'm going to keep loving myself and I'm going to keep healing no matter what happens. I went through cancer, homelessness, all of it. The system still tries to do it to us, but your strength is within me. And I promise you, I'm going to keep going because that's how much I love you and I'm proud of you and I'm grateful to you. I'm so proud of you. All of our survivors that are here and our intergenerational survivors, you are deserving to be celebrated. You are deserving to be held up. Yes. This whole city should be here. And they should be standing here celebrating you. But you know what? Little Maddie is here. Big Maddie is here, standing here celebrating you. And it takes one. And I'm proud of you all. So on the count of 3, I want you to scream with everything that you have inside of yourselves. For yourself, for your families that are healing, for everything we're doing today. The biggest act of love is right now. And we're going to cheer because we love ourselves and we love our elders. 1, 2, 3. Hi, all my relations.
All right, so we are really grateful for, I'd say, every single word that came out of Madeline and that power and the spirit that's carrying forward. I know there's so many people that need to hear that don't hear it often enough.
You are enough.
So our next group that will be sharing some language and culture and dancing and celebrating and the resilience of our people are the Thundering Eagles. They're going to do some powwow dancing before we consider if we're going to do a round dance after. So if the cast and drummers want to come up as well and support, that would be lovely. And I will pass the microphone on to our group to introduce their songs.
Oh, and I have one quick announcement. We have a birthday announcement for the Lheidli T'enneh community. A little Ilsuyu clan, Maya Rose Seymour, is her birthday today. So everybody wish Maya Rose a happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Hadi Kaswa'o
Wahalaka and Squatchicha. My name is Tracy Peters. I'm a jingle dress dancer. It's an honor to come here and dance for all of you today. My mom is a survivor from Kamloops Residential School, along with my aunties and uncles. So we are a group of powwow-style dancers that come together to perform for you today. We have Grant West over here. We have Michael Antoine, traditional dancers. We got Gloria Catherell, Riley, Rosalind, and the beautiful Bella Rain Abraham. So we're going to dance for you. We're going to dance a little bit in stationary here. Because of the rain, we don't want to slip on the wet pavement or anything. So we will be dancing for you, but we'll be dancing stationary. And we hope you enjoy all the prayers. Oh. Elder Rosalind wanted to say something. Okay. And we're going to have our elder Rosalind here, our women's traditional dancer, say something.
Very thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I am so honored, so honored to be here, to be standing here among all these beautiful, beautiful young people and the stories that I've been listening to all day long, and to look out here and see everybody that came to sit in the rain and in the cold and the wind and listen to the stories like all of us. And my heart is so full. I received quite a few texts this morning from friends across the country, mostly from Saskatchewan and from Calgary, from Alberta, because that's where I spent many years in those areas, and I was born there in Saskatchewan and raised, went to residential school and gone through the whole rigmarole. But to be able to stand in public, literally, and dance with your outfit on, with everything that you know that belongs to you, no one can take that from me. This is mine. I made it, and I'm going to dance because that's what I want to do. And I have every right to do that. I never had a chance to say that ever in my life. I was never allowed to speak my truth and have my voice heard. I was always told to shut up, keep your mouth shut, don't be saying anything, don't rock the boat. Well, I'm here to rock the boat because I'm going to dance. See? So you all have a really awesome day, because I know I am. God bless you all.
So, jingle dress dancers are now going to do a side step for you. Bella Rain is a old style jingle dress dancer, and I myself am a contemporary jingle dress dancer. So prayers up to all today. Kukshem.
Good job.
Wow, big round of applause for our PG Powwow dancers. You guys come up and thank you so much. They're just gonna go for it.
Hey!
Wow. Okay. Who wants an encore? One more song.
You want to introduce it?
All right, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Young Spirit. Here we go. Good luck, boys. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I get you guys all to? All right. So wow, what an amazing energy filling ceremony and song that we've had. I'm gonna ask them each to introduce themselves so that you know where they're all coming from, who they are, and maybe their clans if they know.
Howdy, Tracy Peters from Squamish First Nation. I'm interior Salish of the Coyote people, but Lheidli T'enneh territory has been my home since I was 10 years old. So yeah, I raised my 3 children here. This is their born and raised, and it's always an honor to dance for the people.
Howdy, hello, my name is Bellarine Abraham, and I'm from Prince George. I'm a part of Takla Nation, and thank you all for coming out and like standing and sitting in the cold rain.
I am Riley Contos from Saskatchewan, Cowsis First Nation. I'm Ojibwe and yeah.
That's my granddaughter. I'm Gloria Catherall, and I'm Soto Ojibwe Anishinaabe from Cody First Nation in Saskatchewan, and I make Prince George my home.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rosalind Caldwell. I live here in Prince George. I'm a transplant and Cree and Soto from Saskatchewan, from Cody First Nation, and I love to dance.
Hi, my name is Grant West, born and raised in Burns Lake, reside here now in the Lheidli territory. I just want to say, a few years ago, even a couple of years ago, we haven't had this many dancers before, and you can just tell that the work that we're doing, we're gaining numbers here and showing our culture. So, hi.
Hello, I'm Michael Antoine, Sycus First Nations, Gross Clan from my grandmother's side, but my father was from Drift Pile, Alberta. I'm actually half Cree as well. This is only my third time performing. I'm new to this. I see the happiness it brings Grant and Tracy and all the young ladies and our elders, you know, when they do it. And I'd like to think I've came a long way on my spiritual journey, but you're never too old to try new things. And I'm just doing this to add on to it and to essentially become what the Creator intended me to be. Thank you.
All right, one more time for the PG powwow dancers. Thank you so much. You've honored everyone here. We're going to invite up the Thundering Eagles and the Castan Drummers. I think the Thundering Eagles will start. And just give us a quick moment while maybe Jared can list off our sponsors. And we'll set up a mic stand.
So, just as we close out today's celebrations, we'd just like to also list our Sasquatch, Eagle, Moose sponsors for the 2024 National Truth and Reconciliation Day celebrations here in Lheidli T'enneh. And they are the University of Northern British Columbia, Canadian Tire, City of Prince George, CN Rail, Regional District of Fraser Fort George, First Nations Health Authority, United Way, Government of Canada, and Fortis BC. Woo. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and it's great to be here. And you know, I can't help think about our elders that are still here, and those babies that didn't make it home. You know, I found myself today thinking about my late grandmother, and you know, today's a good day. You know, she was working on herself at the ripe age in her 80s to deal with some of the residential school traumas. So, you know, it goes to show that you're never too young to learn new things. So, my grandmother is new to spirit world, so I want to sing a spirit song to invite those grandfathers and grandmothers to be with, you know, not only myself, but each and every one of you. I'm gonna do one more. This one's called Ni Mama, and it's a grandmother's song, and you know, a lot of us as Dakas people, we follow a matriarchal system. So we follow our mothers and our grandmothers' system, their clans and so forth. So, you know, I just want to pray for all those matriarchs, and you know, I think of our late friend Edie as well, and her mother Josie. So we want to send prayers for their spirit as well. So this is Ni Mama.
So we're gonna share one last song to close out, and I just want to also give one more acknowledgement to Patricia for bringing that beautiful flag that we've been graciously staring upon. If you haven't seen it yet, it's amazing, and it's great that it's being blessed by this fresh rain on this beautiful day. So thanks again, Patricia, for bringing that. The song we're going to share is an Anishinaabe song. It's called Snake Medicine song, and it was sung when people would go harvesting, and it would help to, ensure, and we do that practice here as well, that everything's safe and scare away the snakes in their area. We would be maybe scaring away the bears around here in case we're going to go berry picking or medicine picking. And so we love this song because it's very uplifting and it's about medicine and healing. And so we hope the healing energy comes through in this song. And that'll be it for me, I would say. All right. Whew. Some beautiful music, beautiful performances today. I also want to thank all of the volunteers who've come out. We have people helping with a volunteer tent, everyone that helped make this day possible, our sponsors, all the people working, doing our sound, the video, the audio, the setting up the tents and making sure we have a good warm, comfy place backstage for our performers to get changed in and not be in the rain. Apologize that we're all getting blessed so much today with the rain, but that's the way it is sometimes.
No, I think just on behalf of the committee, we're just really grateful to spend the day with you and celebrate with everybody, and most importantly, see members of our communities and our elders. And so, always sending love and support, and grateful to come together today, at least on my end.
Masicho awetse.
Snachelia.
Hadi, welcome to this beautiful campus of UNBC. I'm Darlene McIntosh. I'm an elder with Lheidli T'enneh Nation, but here at the university, I'm also the 8th chancellor that has been appointed, and it has been my greatest honor to represent our people as the chancellor here. We're walking the journey through truth and reconciliation. And what does it mean to me, and how do I see the university applying what it means? Truth and reconciliation is a beautiful phrase. It talks about truth, and we have evaded the truth for many, many years through residential school, the 60 Scoop, the finding of the 215 graves that just shocked the world. Those are uncomfortable truths, but we have to talk about them. And in talking about it, we have an understanding or an awareness. Rather than evading it and ignoring it, we come from post-secondary education, so we need to know what that means, because when you're at the university here, you're into critical thinking. So it makes you pull apart what is being said and what actually is the truth, right? When you wear your orange, that tells me that you're an ally. And I know that with people, they're so afraid to say something to offend or they're not doing the right thing. Well, how do we learn? We learn by our mistakes. And you're not offending anybody, but at least you're making an effort to be a part of the solution, right? We need to be uncomfortable, we need to understand, and then we move forward. We become part of the solution rather than the problem. How do we collaborate and have conversation and build relationship? It's by doing things that we become vulnerable in, and we're afraid to do it. But when we step out of that into the world that says, I can ask those questions and I'll be okay. And then we understand that now we can become the ally to First Nations people. I have seen fantastic changes. I've seen the shift of energy. I've seen the shift of people being okay with being uncomfortable, learning about our history, right? And in the First Nations Center, we have new leaders, and they're opening up the space to encourage truth and reconciliation, naming everything in the Decal carrier language. And it is now today continuing, because it had not been completed. And then, of course, the entrance to the university where they changed the name, and the honoring every time they have an event, they acknowledge whose traditional territories they're on. So it's showing that respect and that understanding of the people who have been here forever. We are in the beginning of fixing it. At UNBC, they have a motto, and it's called Nchahana, which is a Carrier Decal word, which means respecting all forms of life. And that's where we all need to be, respecting everything, because really on this earth plane, we're all one. And that includes our beautiful environment, which gives us everything we need. How do we honor her? How do we protect her? When we say respecting all forms of life, We journey together as we walk through truth and reconciliation. Coming into September 30th, where we have Orange Shirt Day, the remembrance of the children that were lost in residential schools. It's a time of remembrance, a time to open and accept what has happened in the past. This part of history can't be changed, but we can change and make the future better for those Indigenous lives that have been affected through trauma of the past. And this is about truth and reconciliation. We're not pointing fingers. All we want you to know is recognize what has happened in the past and be respectful of that. That's all we're asking, because we can't change it, but we can change the future. We are now changing the future, but recognizing the past.